Hello, dear friends. This is Harvest of Light by Emmanuel, a book that was psychographed by Chico, Xavier, and authored by the Spirit Emmanuel. The book was written in 1972, published by the Brazilian Spiritist Federation in 1979. The book is not yet published in English. It's under translation and revision, and we will turn into the book to the publisher as soon as we have it done, and hopefully they will publish it. Meanwhile, what we're gonna do, share it with you. We can't wait, can you? No, we can't. Hello, friends. Welcome, welcome. Here we are. We're here together learning with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, who is Emmanuel? It's important that you read the books 2,000 years ago, 50 years later, and then Hail Christ, Renunciation, to see the several lives of Emmanuel. He is in all those books, the Spirit, from the Senator Publius Lentulus to Father Damien in the book Renunciation. Yes, that's Emmanuel. And these are some of his lives, and it's important for us to recognize his efforts and see his transformation, because as humble as he became, we can all become, all of us, and we can transform ourselves in the bit of awareness. The moment we realize something in us does not fit anymore, we're opening ourselves for transformation. Okay? So that's how it works. When we read his books, we understand more about him, and then we see the stature of this Spirit that was assigned by Christ to coordinate these thousands of spirits that wrote these messages that are true teachings. These messages are immortal. Science on the earth is changing as we speak. Material science changes. This spiritual science is immutable. It expands but doesn't change. It doesn't become outdated. So the time that you and I are spending on this is precious. It's never going to be a waste of time. You will take it, as much as I, to immortality. We're taking these teachings with us to immortality. So every time we're here at 11 p.m., we are working together for immortality. These teachings will never be lost. Teachings, this knowledge stays with us, and we'll be using it in lives to come and to immortality. So is it worthwhile? Yes, it is. It's worthwhile spending this time together and learning with these wonderful spirits the truth about life. When we talk about truth, it's funny because people are like, but how do you know it's the truth? Reasoning tells us. We're living at a very tricky time on the earth when people are trying to sell to us fake news as truth. And truth as fake news. Our reasoning tells. You and I need to use our reasoning not to be deceived by minds of low order spirits of the beyond and incarnated. Are you ready now? I see loving friends joining us. Welcome, welcome. Ready? Today is a beautiful lesson. Every day, but today finally he's going to talk about love. You know, love is the nourishment of our soul. There is a book that is not yet in English. It was published by the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, and it's by the Spirit Audio. And I just escaped the name of the book from my mind, but it talks about this very topic, that we, as much as the physical body needs oxygen, we spirits need love. All we need is love, love, but not this superficial love, not this interested love, not this selfish love. We're talking about true love, true love. Where is this true love? It's inside of you. It's inside of me. It is in our own nature. We just need to let it blossom. Tonight, we're going to learn from our dear Emmanuel, Renewal in Love. He begins by quoting from Paul to 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 13. When Paul said, "And as for you, brothers and sisters, never tire of doing the good." Because the good is so good. And it is. So now we have 3, 6, 7 paragraphs in which Emmanuel is going to dissect that message. Let's breathe in and now be prepared to feel the scripture. 1, 2, 3, go. When crises visit you, in the face of human problems, it is right to meditate on the principles of cause and effect, as much as it is natural to reflect on the imposition of spiritual refinement with which we are confronted. However, think of the law of renewal that brings peace and victory over ourselves if we decide to constructively accept the experiences that we need. If you have attained deep integration with the blessings of life, consider the task entrusted to you by divine providence. God does not send us problems that we are not in need. Acceptance and patience, without stopping the work, are almost always half of the success in any test that we're submitted for our own benefit. If any time is likely to be an occasion for redemption and readjustment, every day is also an opportunity to resume, to relearn, to instruct, or to rebuild. The love we're adding to the obligation we must fulfill is always a plantation of happiness for ourselves. Wherever you are, and however you are, in the difficulties, in the areas of difficulty, give yourself to serenity and the spirit of service, and you will easily understand that love really covers the multitude of our faults, rushing in our favor the desired conquest of peace and liberation. Friends, tonight, again, time and again, Emmanuel is sharing with us the secrets of life. Why do I believe in this? Because I saw Chico Xavier listening to the counsels of Emmanuel, and the result is astounding. We've never seen a humanitarian at that level. I'm not saying he was a puppet of Emmanuel, but he was guided by Emmanuel. He accepted the guidance. If we accept this guidance, we will have less regrets. Usually in our youthful years, we do whatever we like, the way we like, we don't care. Usually we decide to do things out of conveniences and out of fear. I see that this friend is not that good for me, but I'm afraid to be distanced because of the consequences, and then I keep myself nourishing of this not so good friendship. I see that sometimes I should take the new step and travel, meet new friends, and do new courses, but I'm afraid. It's so common. We're moved by fears. People get married out of fear. I should get married because what if? Then get married. And then things don't go the way we planned. We didn't plan. We've taken a step out of fear. Emmanuel is asking us tonight to make choices based on love. Food. Let's begin with the most primal thing, physical nourishment. Oh, I wish I could eat this chocolate cake. Hold on. But is this gonna do good to my body now? No. Then I love myself. Chocolate cake. God bless you, but I don't need you. I need a fruit. I need to go for a walk, to drink more water. Other than nourishing myself with things that are going to create inflammation in my body, change my mood, and then the result is terrible. Relationships suffer, right? Yes. Great part of it comes from our nutrition, physically speaking. Less sugar, less white flour related type of foods. More hydration, more water. To be crispy, look at a plant. Look at a plant. The plant is there sad, feeling weak. You put water. This is our body. More water than food. And we're not talking about statics. We're talking about health. And then let's talk about fear guiding us at work. We keep ourselves at that job just because we are afraid. But I'm so afraid. And then you don't apply for the jobs. We should apply for the jobs and visualize ourselves blossoming in our potential at work. Doing volunteering work out of love, not out of fear. And that's how many people get extenuated when they do volunteering work, because they are making decisions out of fear. I have to do this volunteering work because I have so much guilt inside of me. And then they do it, it doesn't work. They don't feel replenished. They don't feel good. They can't see the good in it because they are doing this out of fear. If I don't do this, I'm not going to pay my debts with my conscience. So tonight, Emmanuel is asking us, revisit your moments of decisions and crisis and make choices based on love. So in the first paragraph, he goes straight to the word crisis. And he talks about crisis, problems, he says. Crisis, problems, tests, he uses tests, and difficulties. These are 4 words he uses in this message while talking about love. Crisis, difficulties, problems, tests. So if we undergo any of those 4 scenarios at any given day, Emmanuel in this message is giving to us the remedy. He says, no matter your problems, it's okay that you think, oh, is it karma? That's what he's saying. The law of cause and effect. It's all right to meditate on this. But isn't it right when we undergo a crisis like, this is karma, I must have done something wrong, and we feel guilty, mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. And he says, Emmanuel is such a loving educator, such a therapist. He says, also think of the law of renewal, Mamma Mia. Why always looking at the glass half empty? Look at the glass half full. Life is not tricking you. Life is not tricking us. We are destined to learn and to progress. And he says, think of the law of renewal. Did you know that renewal is a law? Of course. Look at nature. Everything renews itself. Right? Everything. Watch some Discovery Channel episodes and you're going to see documentaries about nature, the power of renewal. So that's a homework for us. In the next day or so, let us watch a little bit. It could be on the internet, on TV, Googling it, YouTubing it. Nature, renewal. Nature, renewal. And we'll see the law of renewal, the beautiful transformation. I saw a little cartoon the other day that was talking about how caterpillars sometimes are not too beautiful, but then they turn into beautiful butterflies. And that's us. In a moment of crisis and transformation, it may feel like a caterpillar in a cocoon, like we're stuck in that cocoon. Mamma mia, this cocoon, it's terrible. I feel imprisoned. I feel I'm stuck. I'm never gonna get out of here. And then suddenly you're like, crack. Oh, I see light. And then you keep digging. Oh, more light, more light, more light, and then you fly. Blip, 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 blip. When you least expected. Right, Wagner Jr.? But Wagner, let me ask you, change your discourse, Wagner. The more you repeat it, the worse it gets. Change the discourse. Tell yourself, I'm freeing myself. Do the reverse. Your thought can change your life. Okay? And he says, God does not send us problems that we don't need. Good job, Wagner. God does not send us problems that we are not in need. No, God doesn't. But Vanessa, God sends us problems. Problems like a math teacher. Solve this equation. And that's a challenge for us. Okay? And then he says to us, acceptance and patience are key. We need to accept ourselves and then change it. Accept, use patience. Usually, we're like, I don't like it. And I start kicking and screaming. And he says, if you just accept and wait, things are going to be changing. Thank you, Rudy. A hug and a kiss to you. So he says, this is so beautiful. He's so positive. It amazes me when people read Spiritism and feel negative. And feel, oh my gosh, I feel, no, our interpretation is mistaken. Because when we see it, it's so positive. He says, accept, be patient. And he says, in any occasion, every day is an opportunity to begin anew, resume, learn again, relearn, instruct, or rebuild. So we need to identify this difficulty, this problem, this test. What is this all about? Is it for me to begin anew? Probably. Or to learn again because I haven't learned yet. You know, like students, they start learning how to write, and they say, oh, I did the letter L. But I'm gonna ask you, try it again. I'm gonna ask you guys a favor. I have to just go downstairs to take care of Virginia, and I'll be right back, okay? 1 second, I'll be right back with you. We're back. We didn't vanish. Thank you so much, friends. We had to attend to motherly duty. Okay, Virginia called me. She's only 4, so you know how it is, right? All right, thank you for waiting. I apologize. So, everything is good. And we're talking about acceptance and patience. Precisely what we needed at this hour. It is what it is. It's life. Life is beautiful. And he was telling us about love. I think this is the most striking piece of this message. If we practice this very line, we could forget about the rest of the message. Because he says, the love that we add to our duty to be fulfilled is always a plantation of happiness for ourselves. So this is our assessment now. Scale 0 to 10. How much do you add love to your duties? Because usually, what is a duty? Anything could be home chores, the house chores. It could be our jobs. It could be the duties of daily life, even toothbrushing. Put some love. Do some mirror work while brushing your hair, toothbrushing, showering with joy. Oh, but I'm so tired, but it's so good. Adding love, he says, always will be having a plantation of happiness for ourselves. Doing our duties with love. Usually, even in spiritist centers, sometimes people go there and they keep looking at the watch. But that's not love, because when you love staying there. And you're not like in a rush, like, oh my gosh, I have to leave. Unless you have something that is indispensable, but in our daily activities, keeping an eye on the watch. So where are you regarding adding love to your duties? 0. Bad. 10. Excellent. Where do you think you are? You're right, Chris, Anastasia. We love to be at the center, isn't that right? I agree with you. Camping at the center would be nice. A sleepover maybe would be great. Huh? That would be great. So today Emmanuel is wrapping up this message saying, wherever you are, however you are, in any area of difficulty, give yourself to serenity and service. And you will see that you achieve the desired peace and liberation. Serenity. Look at the words he uses for us that combines with love. Love, and he says, acceptance, patience. He talks here about happiness. He talks about serenity, spirit of service, peace, and liberation. In 7 paragraphs, he brought to us a new understanding. A new understanding. Never get tired of doing the good, said Paul to the Thessalonians. And Emmanuel repeats to us, no matter how difficult it is, keep serving and be serene. Keep serving and be serene. Accept and be patient. Put some love in our daily duties, and life will transform itself in a plantation of happiness. Plantation of happiness is a whole lot. Can you imagine? Plantation of happiness? So that's the art part for you. Take a color pencil, crayons, and draw a plantation of happiness. How does it look like? What color is it? Do you have an idea? That's the artistic homework for all of us. I'm gonna do it too, and I may present to you. Maybe Virginia tomorrow, and I can draw together what it is that we feel as a plantation of happiness. Shall we, friends? When we come back in the next 24 hours, coming back here, we will study about moving on, following, moving forward. Emmanuel talks about renewal again. Is that what we need? Is that why we reincarnated? Yes. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk more about it. Okay, friends? In the meantime, let's sprinkle more love in our daily duties, and the plantation of happiness is a sure thing. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Rihanna. Thank you, friends. A big hug to all of you, Wagner Jr.